Good day, everybody, and welcome. We are the Info Runners, and today I'm joined by Mr. Julian Execute himself, and I'm also joined by Mr. Dawson. How are you doing today, fellas?
Good, thank you.
Doing absolutely amazing.
All right, so here's the real question. Where were you guys when they just released this awesome Minesweeper?
I was in bed watching Netflix. I'm about to go to sleep. Which, yeah, it was interesting though, to say the least. What about you, Dyson? Where were you?
Waiting with bated breath for images to come up.
Oh yeah. All right, so
And
I had a buddy on Facebook who was just spamming it, and I was just eating it all up. But yeah, it's so we'll just dive into it. This is a Minesweeper, and it has I think it can carry up to 24 mines as 4 launchers. Each launcher holds 6 of them. It has drones, and it's you guys called it a while back when you guys did your episode about the missing link between corvettes. I'm pretty sure I remember watching that episode before I came an info runner, and you both called it. I can't remember what you said, so I'll let you guys say verbatim. So say your
we were
pieces.
we were talking very specifically. It was in the episode "Missing Corvette," which was about 7 months ago, and
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about there's a hole for a ship that's good against medium size vessels. This is perfect against medium sized vessels. We also
Mm-hmm.
mentioned out of several of our things we'd like to see, things that there's kind of a hole for, we mentioned a drone controlling ship. And two of the drones we mentioned, one was a drone that you deploy and it's basically a mobile, it's just a stationary turret that goes pew pew pew
A
pew.
sentry gun. Yep.
And I
And the
said
other one
a
was the mine.
suicide drone, which is basically a mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, it also has recovery drones as well, but this ties into also our episode me execute and Allgrid did a while back, which was rearm repair dot no, excuse me, rearm no I messed up twice.
Repair,
Refuel,
refuel,
repair,
rearm.
yeah, rearm. And I was like, I wanted to see a ship that could be able to that would be able to repair rearm things. So this is exactly that ship. The reason why is because this is the only subcap ship that has drones. And the thing is if you watch the Vulcan Q&A, they clearly said a drone is a drone. So even though you're supposed to have repair, rearm, refuel with a Vulcan, you can easily take salvaging drones and you can put them on the Vulcan, and you can be like, haha, surprise, I'm salvaging your ship. And then instead of helping you, and that person can be like, okay, I'm going to kill you, or oh, I'm getting salvaged. Oh no. So what this exactly means is I can take my Vulcan and I can take the drones and I can put them on the ship and make it a combat logistics vessel, because this is supposed to be multi-role. It's supposed to be soloable in the sense of it's a lone wolf. So you need a minimum of 4 crew, but you're able to be out alone. And I think what it has just as much armor as the Hammerhead, and it actually has kind of the same weaknesses too. You can EVA through the
Yep.
doors, and what do you guys think it's gonna be used for? I think it's not gonna be for direct combat. I feel like it's gonna be in the back scene because it's deploying
It's
mines.
it's a security guard. It's a protection role.
Yeah,
It's like we stated in the missing Corvette video. It's you can use it to hold in an area of effect. You can hold down a space station. You can lay your mines. You can be offensive by dropping a lot of those sentry drones, but you can
hmm
also be defensive and drop a lot of things lying in wait. So it's got two little roles there as well.
It's a great ambush predator because you
I
have
agree.
that. But imagine putting distortion cannons on those sentry drones, and you hit
I
a you
kind of
have several
disagree
of them.
slightly, just because they've actually stated that the mine laying is fairly slow. And so it's not something where you can just like warp into an area and drop 28 fucking
No,
Yeah,
you
it's
mines.
gonna
wouldn't,
take
but you would
time.
set up an area like you would leave like a maybe a beacon or something like you somewhere where you know someone's going. Like imagine a common path to a drug lab that people will
Mm.
take. You set up some mines there. They don't see it until it's too late. Boom! They get hit with maybe a mine or two to hit the shields. Then distortion cannons drain their power, and then boom, you go on and you get the goods.
Yep.
Like you were saying before the show too, I think it would actually work with pilots very well. I think it would be working well with interdiction, because you could have just like a huge minefield that they literally are interdicted into, and you stop them. You can then use the turret drones to protect the ship that's doing the interdiction, so they can't just warp in and kill it and then warp out again. I think it's got a lot of
Yeah, I have a
utility.
list of things.
Yeah,
So,
I think for the next while we're going to be thinking of things that you can do with this ship.
So let's go over the mines themselves. So these things are most of them are going to be proxy based. It's going to be based off a size 5 torpedo equivalent. The damages, and on hardpoint.io, a damage of a size 5 torpedo is approximately a little bit less than 10k or something along that line. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's somewhere in that mid-range damage. So again, that's effective against a medium-sized ship. It will hurt a large ship. Capital class, it might tickle their shields. Nothing crazy, but you will be able to hack them. EMP damage, nice on both of you guys. So you can get rid of them through hacking and through EMP blasting them in any ways will disable them. Hacking wise, you'll be able to retrieve them and have them be your own. And let's see, what other things do we have? The kilometer, I think, is up to 5 to 10k. It's based on your signature, like most things, locking and like for missiles and everything. So your EM and IR signature will drastically play a role in how these things detect you. These are supposed to be the size of a smaller ship. If to give people an idea, if you've actually done one of the Comare missions when you have to go get rid of those little buggers or whatever those things are, I forgot what they're called, but they're super tiny.
Yeah.
And like you don't see them until you're right up on top of them. I feel like those are going to be
And
exactly
you
like that.
toss a scan, and you're like, well, something's there. But then again,
Exactly.
But imagine if you're in an asteroid field and you've set that up, you'll have mineable asteroids going off. So that's where it's going to be. Sensors are going to be important. This brings a whole new level of gameplay. There's going to be a reasons that bring out those terrapins, those scanning vessels to find that. And on top of that, the coolest thing I found about this ship was they're going to be generating missions for this ship.
Yeah.
To go, because this is a ship that can not just lay mines but remove mines, and that's really nice to see a capital ship.
Yeah.
Yep. They actually said that Terrapin is an ideal ship for this, which makes sense. It's an armored ship. It's smaller, and it's supposed to be. Isn't the Terrapin supposed to be an exploration / force recon ship? So there you go. So the Terrapin combined with this ship would be good. And does the Terrapin have a docking collar or no?
No.
Okay, then you can't dock with it. So, speaking of the ship itself, did I already cover the crew that needs? Yeah, I think I did.
Yes.
Four people.
Yeah,
Minimum.
at least 4 people. Yep, correct. Thank you, gents. So this thing's supposed to have. They haven't decided, but it's designed to have tougher shields, and it's supposed to be more heavily armored than a Hammerhead. So, thus, that means more weight, which means it's going to be slower than a Hammerhead. And
actually, question
weapons.
if Aegis is the right manufacturer. Like, I look at this and I often think it's a triangle. Why the hell is it an anvil? Like, no,
it seems like anvil.
Yeah.
Because look, it has the really smooth lines of Crusader, and that's why I look at it.
Yeah, it could have been Crusader too. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being Crusader.
You guys were mentioning turrets too before.
Yes.
So 3 turrets. You got the big one under the nose, and your 2 on the wings, as you can see in the picture there.
Yeah, so it seems like it's one of each for the wing. One would be ballistic, and one would be missiles. But I think in the future,
I thought
you're going to be able to customize it.
A grand total of 4 turrets on this thing, with two size 3 ballistics, 1 missile, and then you had the size 7, which could either be going down to size 6 guns or possibly lower, because of course metrics are kind of weird.
Yeah, the turret metrics are weird. You could be right. I literally don't see it. It might be underneath there. We'll assume there's 4 for the point of being a symmetrical.
Yeah, I have no
problem with that.
I can actually, now I look at that back image, you can actually see the 4 mine layers. So you've got the 2 that come out the top and the bottom, which are the real most obvious ones, but there actually are 2 that are on the side like that. And the thing that gives it away is the little orange light on the bottom one in this image there. You can also see there's an orange light off to the side to the left, and so you can assume that the other one is on the other side as well. So there's 2 going that, and then there's 2 going like that, all pointing out the back. So yeah, total of 24 mines, which is, again, not too many, but again, that's, funnily enough, the same as 24 torpedoes on a Polaris. I have one last question, obviously, for you guys to throw out there. We know that the suicide mines are going to kind of explode, fair enough, but can you recoup the gun turrets, so to speak, the sentry mines, and use them again?
Yes. Yes, so it says you have two. It comes with 2 recovery drones standard, and it says you actually have to maintain them. They act like ships. You got to rearm, repair, and refuel them once they take damage. They're not supposed to last long, so when they do get in combat, your ship is supposed to alert you saying, "Hey, your sentry drones or your mines are triggering are getting activated. Like you need to go there and investigate if you want." So, and a little bit of micromanagement. I actually had somebody tell me, would it be just cheaper to go get more mines instead of just having to go maintain them? And I would assume for
No.
purposes of convenience and yeah, exactly. It might be just better to micromanage them instead of you just buying them outright. It's like for me in my head, it's like Eve. When you have a super carrier and you're using fighter bombers, you don't want to lose them. You rather repair them and go get more fighter bombers because those things are
Well,
expensive.
it's the same thing in this. It's cheaper to repair and refuel a
Yep.
ship than buy a new one.
The explosive mines, though, need to have enough of a cost-benefit ratio, in my opinion, because it would get ridiculously, if they're ridiculously expensive, you will be not wanting to place them.
I would expect them to be on par with the size 5 torpedoes. I think they might be slightly cheaper because of how they move. They might not require as much, but I think they'd still be in the same ballpark. Maybe cheaper, but definitely not more expensive.
Speaking of movement, I don't think I covered this. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you're going. Once you set them down or once you deploy a mine, regardless if it's a sentry or a regular one, it will stay anchored to where it is until a enemy ship, or I guess a ship that's not yours. I don't know how they're gonna really balance and say, okay, which one is a good or bad ship.
You might set them before you drop them. What their priorities are.
You're
attack everything, only attack hostiles, etc.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to adjust that. I totally forgot about that. But it'll stay there for the suicide mines, the actual mines themselves. They will gradually move closer. If you get away from them, they'll stop, apparently. But I feel like instead of it stopping, it needs to go back to its normal position because if not, then what's stopping you from taking like a tugboat and pushing a ship past it, like you kiting basically? So you're trying to like fly right past it and then the mines just start following you, and then you're like, haha, you just sneak in or get around. I could see that happening, or maybe they'll do that for risk versus reward, or maybe for balance, they'll make it go back to the normal position. We'll see.
So, you guys are the stats guys compared to me. How big is this ship physically in meters compared to, say, something like the Hammerhead, as an example? So, what's the length of this, and what's the length of the Hammerhead?
It is 126, I think. They changed it because apparently everyone was saying it was 146. So I don't remember how long the Hammerhead is. So
there's a graphic that I found. I'm seeing if I can find it
but they did say that the Hammerhead is smaller, like lengthwise.
It's not much smaller.
Yeah, you're right. It's not much smaller.
CIG actually had a graphic up during this presentation, and it's like a nose, just smaller. And when you look at it, think about it. This is a long ship comparatively, and I'm really hoping that they use better use of corridors in this ship than they did in the Hammerhead, because the Hammerhead could be much smaller, and it's just corridors upon corridors. That's really my biggest concern with this ship, honestly, is what's wasted.
So who's the type of person in your eyes, guys, very briefly, if I can get each of you to give a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
That you think would want this ship? What other ships does this shit sit with well? Now, I can think of one off the top of my head, so I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to say the Endeavour. I think this would be a really good ship to set up a minefield for it to operate in, and that obviously leads itself to similar ships like the Kraken and stuff like that. So if the Kraken's got the little mobile base going...
I see what you're saying.
Yep. I could possibly even see it with a Pioneer, like once the Pioneer is building, or maybe even a portable base. Like if the Sentry things can just sit on the ground, it could you could set up turrets just to cover your base, but that's a wait and see. And I think it really is indicative that we may even see space station ships builders in the future, but we'll see. Sorry. So what do you guys think it's for? Who is it going to be for, and what is it going to be used for?
honestly any of the industrial professions, because every single one of those professions has to go out at some point and do something. If you're an Orion, you're going to be mining big asteroids. This is great to put around you. You're a reclaimer. You're going out there. Starfarer, you're collecting fuel. I just see this just being any man's ship, because you just defend the small area if you're going to be there for any length of time.
I mean, I'm right there with Dawson. Combat logistics, straight up.
I think
You
it
set up
even
in advance.
Yeah, oh, sorry. You go ahead. I was just gonna say I think it complements the other Corvettes. Sorry, Steve. Go.
Yeah, so I agree. You have the Polaris, which is more. This is the irony. The Polaris is more offensive. This ship is more defensive, and then you have the Hammerhead, which is like the middleman, because it can equally find itself in a capital ship fleet. It can be by itself. And in the future, they said you're going to be able to make it in basically a big automated point defense system. So you just be able to lock on enemy torpedoes. So if the Polaris is trying to hurt another one of your Idrises, you're like, nope, shoot down its torpedoes, and then basically your Polaris is like, oh, and he goes away because he's not really that effective. So you got your offensive, defensive. Yeah, I am too. So this is your defense and the best saying is your best offense is your defense. So if you use this thing right, it's going to be really hard. And I don't want to go on a rant, but the mines themselves, they seem like they want, well, in real life, mines are there just to guide you to a different place. It's either you're going to try to disable them, which is going to waste time. So if you, like we were talking about choke points, so what they're really there for is you're trying to direct somebody or something to a way you want them to go. So I want to go to Hurston. And it's like, no, you're not going to go to Hurston. There's a minefield ahead of you. Instead of you flying through the minefield, you're going to go around it. And oh no, you go around ambush or checkpoint, like a DUI checkpoint in space. Instead, you're going to have drugs in there. And then the advocacy is going to be like, oh, I'm going to take your drugs. You're like, which also makes me think of Intel. If you have I feel like this is going to be something the NPCs are going to have. They're going to set up choke points for us. And something like data running, where if you are a legal data runner, you're going to intercept that and you're going to sell it to people or at illegal places, saying, "Oh, hey, there's a minefield here. Be wary." Or fortifying like again the Orion. You have an asteroid field. You find good ore, and you have bad ore or just basic ore. You just set up the minefield around the good ore, so then it's yours for the keeping.
Mine. You can't mine that. It's mine.
You can't yep, that's mine. Go ahead,
this ship is actually, in my opinion, feels to me like the ship that I would see the advocacy in more than anything else, because not only does it have the area control that it can place, it actually has some pretty good firepower on it. Those front guns, as I said, if they're size 6, that's hefty. And when you think about that, that can eat a medium ship for breakfast on its own.
Still won't go toe to toe with another capital. Like, I'd still expect the Hammerhead to kill this.
It's not designed to, but it's like a cop car. You're not going to see a cop car going off against a tank or an APC.
Like once the battle starts, this thing pretty much drops to a support role. Like you said, it would be repairing and rearming other ships. It would not really be fighting. I just had a really cool visual in my head. Imagine dropping a whole set of mines off on a jump point or a wormhole that you've just discovered, so no one else can get into the system. Just warp in.
That's okay. So that leads me to a couple other things I have to address. So thank you for reminding me of the mines. So this thing is supposed to have like an emergency jettison button. So like if you're in a tight situation, I would assume that all the armor is near the front. Your weakness is toward the back. Like if you look, it just looks heavily armored in the front.
It does.
If you're deploying the mines in the back, they said you'll be able to deploy all the mines in tight situations. So, like, if anyone's chasing you or pursuing you, dump them. They're like, oh, crap, let me get away from the mines. It gives you a chance to go. Another thing is people are I wouldn't say freaking out, I'm sorry, are worried about, will you get hit by these while you're traveling through Quantum? I don't think so. I really don't think they're going to make it so. Like, if you're able to go through asteroids and stuff now, unless they're planning to physicalize everything, then if you're able to, I feel like what's going to happen is that if you're able to get hit by those, you're going to make it so you're going to get stopped beforehand. It's not like they're just going to let you go through.
Yeah.
or maybe
One
your
thing
scanners will pick up something. Go ahead.
that they really need to add, in my opinion, would be actually a interdiction mine. And the reason I say that is it'd be nice for a minefield to be able to interdict you, and you see it, and then you actually have to physically move around said minefield and go away, and that would just for a unique ambush situation, because, like you said, redirect.
Yep.
All right,
I think we need to wrap
go ahead.
up.
Well,
Running out of time.
we are. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Well, okay. Just to quickly finish up, the other things, like we didn't even talk about the interior wise. You have your drone operating bay. I know, right? We got too excited.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I said it was self-sustaining is because you have a mess hall, you have your crew berthing, you have a bridge, captain's quarters, you have your escape pods. This ship doesn't look aerodynamic, so if you go into atmosphere, it's going to be really heavy. So you're going to rely on your VTOL thrusters, which you can clearly see in this picture right now. So take a look.
Yeah.
And docking collars. So again, if I'm going to use this for combat logistics, I'm going to put like an Argo SRV on one side, and or maybe both if I need to tow things closer to me when I have drones. You have your engineering station, and drones are in the back area along with your drone operating station.
Does it actually have
And
not a cargo bay, not like somewhere you
it
can
does
actually,
have a cargo bay.
does it have like a where you can put other
Drone
ships
bay?
inside it? No, can you put other ships
No,
inside it? No.
No, you cannot fit
From
any
what I
ships in this.
understood, when
said no.
someone asked, "Will it fit?" Nothing will fit.
Cool. There we go.
Literally verbatim.
I
they
thought you were
said
going to
which
say you were going
ship
to put
will
an
fit.
Argo. I thought you were going to say you're going to put an Argo in it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Nope. Dock it. Straight up
Right.
dock it next to it. Yeah, per them it said which ship will fit inside. No.
Yep.
That was it. So yeah, so it's supposed to hold 64 SCU, but I mean, like everything we talked about is subject to change, but this is what we've got so far. We're going to hear more, I think,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow and Monday once available for
Yep.
everybody else.
Yep.
So
What's the price for everyone? War bond. What's the war
War bond
price?
is $675 war bond.
And would you be expecting $50 more for the normal?
I
Easily.
expect to be no less than 700 for US dollars, excuse me, for the actual price.
I reckon it's going to be 725 at least.
Yeah. I mean, no more than 700 for the non-war
Well,
bond price.
especially because I bet you they're going to be announcing soon, once you see that roadmap, that it'll be popping out fairly soon.
Yeah, but again,
because
it'll just be a ship. It doesn't actually do anything. That's my problem with so many of these ships at the moment.
Yeah,
There's just no gameplay.
The thing about that is that I'm kind of excited mainly because they said they started February 6th and they finished on July 31st. They didn't say what they finished. They were showing demo of them inside of it apparently. So do I see a flight ready in the near future, which is what they said they're going to be doing here on out? Yes. Do I see it coming in 3.2? Who knows? They have the 890 jump, so why not them say, hey, do you want the 890 jump or do you want this awesome Aegis ship? So I don't know. Maybe it'll be in 3.7. Who knows?
I personally think it was just a rough 3D of the interiors, like white box or something. Personally,
it could be. It could be, but I feel like it's going to be coming soon because of what they said.
Yeah,
I could
They've
be
said
wrong,
that a
but
few
they said moving
times
forward.
this year, haven't they? That they're trying to move
Yes.
more to a straight to live thing, and
Yeah.
I tend to agree that we know this has been coming for a while. There's no reason it's not ready.
And Squadron
to go.
42 could also use more capsips.
That's for sure.
All
All
right,
right.
single player, you'll be able to have them.
I think we'll leave it there. Again, if you let us know what you guys think of this so far, are you going to be picking up one? I am very tempted to switch my Hammerhead to this. I don't know about you boys. Do you want to? Are you going to get one here? I think so.
Yes,
knowing you,
I'm going to get one.
and I know Dyson,
Combat
you're
logistics.
probably tossing around if you can chop and change some stuff as well, or
Yes, but I'm just gonna have to say I think Carrick's still gonna win out because
it's a
I mean,
Carrick.
there's only so
Yeah.
many military Corvettes you can have.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see, and I'm gonna have to talk to my org mates too, because not everyone needs one, so it's a bit of a discussion.
But real quickly, I feel like we should do a follow up once we get more info.
We
like a
definitely
Q&A.
will. We'll probably do a
And, yeah,
buyer's
we
guide,
should.
quite frankly.
Yes, like should you buy it? Thank you. Perfect. All right. So,
All right. I was going to say Discord, if you want to chat to us more about this. We're going to be learning things as time goes by, even today. If you like this video, like this video. If you don't like this video, then dislike this video as well. Yeah, feel free to leave a comment. I would definitely like to know whether you're going to be buying it or not. Now, Dyson this week set up a Patreon page. We've had a few requests for that. So we're going to get working on that, and we'll hopefully have that up for you guys soon if you guys wish to support us.
Get this man a webcam.
Yeah, we got him a green screen this week. Got him a green screen. And now his camera doesn't work properly, so now we've got to give him a new camera, which is great. So hopefully we'll have Dyson up to speed with everyone else real soon. Anything else that I forgot, guys, or is that everything?
That's everything.
Right.
I think that's everything for
Well,
now.
he's been Dyson, he's been Seer, and I've been Execute, and we'll catch you guys next time.
See you around.
Good one, guys.